Finish her!
If you've even heard of Mortal Kombat, you probably know it's all about brutal, over-the-top fighting. It started back in 1992, created by Midway Games, and got so popular that it turned into a full-blown franchise. We're talking comic books, card game, animated shows, and live-action movie. The violence in the game was actually so intense that it led to the creation of the ESRB, the rating system used for video games even today. Over time, Mortal Kombat built up a huge roster of characters. Some you can play as, others show up as bosses or side characters. The series, created by Ed Boon and John Tobias, focuses on battles between different realms. The main goal is always the same: to protect the Earth realm from some pretty nasty villain. And out of the 70+ playable fighters introduced over the years, there's one that stands out for being just plain weird. His name is Mokap, and he was a hidden character in Deadly Alliance. Let's take a closer look at how this unusual fighter ended up in the Mortal Kombat universe. Who is Mokap? What is his backstory? Mokap's full name is Charles Chuck Golden, who made his debut in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance as a hidden character. Mokap's name is more like an abbreviation and is a shortened version of the words motion capture, where the letter C has been replaced by K, keeping in mind the Mortal Kombat tradition. Motion capture is a device that actors use to enact the character's movements in the game. Mokap, particularly, is a tribute to actor Carlos Pesina, who played Raiden in Mortal Kombat Trilogy, Mortal Kombat, and Mortal Kombat 2. Carlos admitted that while it was flattering to be included in the series, it was also awkward to see all the fatalities performed on him. When Mokap was added as a character in Deadly Alliance during the development, the creators realized that Mokap lacked character-specific features, such as his unique combat style, a weapon stance, or a fatality. They worked on him until he was introduced in MK Deadly Alliance as a character known for his mastery of fighting styles and martial arts. Mokap's involvement in the series was that of a hidden character and isn't part of the main story. However, one cannot discount his inclusion in the ending of the film that followed Deadly Alliance, which featured Johnny Cage's non-canonical ending. Mokap also appeared in the Armageddon installment, although his role was restricted, and he was said to have been included by mistake. Ouch, that would hurt any character's ego. Mokap, despite his small appearances and not being attached to the main plot, has always been regarded as a legit character in Mortal Kombat's plots, ensuring his continued presence. In all the incidents of the latest game, however, his presence in a particular track is always left vague and mysterious. He's consistently moved about and pushed into battles that have occurred only because he was present at the wrong place at the wrong time. Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. In Deadly Alliance, Mokap is portrayed as a humble martial arts teacher from Chicago who gets roped into motion capture work by Johnny Cage. This sets him up as a fourth wall-breaking character, a literal Mokap actor, being transported into the very universe he's helping bring to life. It's also how Mokap became the main martial arts talent for motion capture in this film. Mokap came in from Hollywood and introduced Crane and Snake styles, yet not visibly using them in gameplay. Is part of what makes him such an awkward addition. His animations were mostly recycled from other fighters, and his moveset felt generic or cobbled together, further reinforcing my idea that he seemed clueless and confused. After Deadly Alliance, Mokap is said to have gained projectile and telekinetic powers, but there's never an explanation for this. It's almost as if the developers thought, why not have some fun, and just threw it in. This lack of lore consistency, no origin, no reasoning, only adds to his identity as an accidental hero, whether he's gallivanting through realms in Deception or appearing out of nowhere in Armageddon. Mokap constantly feels like a guy who showed up to the wrong set, yet somehow stayed for the whole movie. And weirdly enough, he survives it all. Mokap isn't meant to be a competitive fighter or a meaningful character. He's a comic relief Easter egg, but in a franchise built around rich backstory, brutal rivalry, and epic mythologies, his presence feels jarring. That's why many fans go to town about their views on him. He's a walking Mokap suit, literally. Mortal Kombat Deception. You get a glimpse of Mokap's character from Mortal Kombat Deception, which perfectly captures the bizarre, tongue-in-cheek nature of his character. In Deception, his appearance in Conquest mode leaned heavily into his out-of-place comedic persona. The absurdity of Mokap's presence in Chaos Realm, a realm governed by randomness and madness, fits his clueless demeanor. When he meets Shujinko, the warrior whom Onaga tricked to acquire the 6th Kamidogu, Mokap readily admits that he didn't know how he had landed there, his random teleportation from Chicago, his aimless wandering in realms he clearly doesn't understand, and especially his over-the-top reaction, "Oh my balls," when hit, all emphasize that he's not a serious combatant. This portrayal made him more of a meme than a legitimate fighter. The quote from Screw Attack, "No one wants to play a character with balls on his body," is a humorous but harsh jab at Mokap's design and lack of depth compared to the franchise's iconic fighters like Scorpion or Sub-Zero. While his presence might amuse some players, it's clear he was never meant to be a fan-favorite powerhouse. Instead, Mokap serves as a weird Easter egg, a reminder that Mortal Kombat has never taken itself entirely too seriously. Let me elaborate on the reason why the above statement by Screw Attack was made. Mokap wears a full-body motion capture suit, complete with reflective marker, mimicking the gear used by real-life actors during the development of video games. Mokap's motion capture suit has a pair of tracking balls, a fun, risque addition added by the techies to showcase their technology, which was also ironically used in creating other characters featured in the series. Mortal Kombat Armageddon. Mokap's appearance in the Battle of Armageddon in Edenia was a memorable one, where he fought on the side of the forces of light. He fought valiantly and was destroyed by the fire-spewing blaze, but he was torn apart and became a constellation. He would always be credited as the hero who saved Edenia. Later, in the events that followed, he was killed like the rest. His appearance in Armageddon, in my opinion, offered redemption for his role as a relevant and faithful warrior in the series who fought on the side of good. Mokap appeared in Mortal Kombat Legends, Cage Match, an animated TV series where he was introduced as an African-American man named Charles "Chuck" Golden, who played Johnny Cage's loyal assistant. Chuck, in this appearance, is shown to idolize Johnny Cage. He helps Cage look into Jennifer's disappearance and find her until the duo team up with Ashra to stop Shinnok from taking over Earthrealm. After winning this battle, Chuck decides to follow Johnny Cage and becomes his body double in video games. It was while pursuing this new profession that he gave himself the name Mokap. While Mokap's combative brilliance was hailed, his comical timing wasn't, since the game didn't allow characters to be differentiated based on their personality. So, his cluelessness was kind of funny, but not ha-ha funny. Critics thought him to be too soft by Mortal Kombat standard. While Mokap is often seen as a joke character or a novelty addition, his existence is a unique homage to the real-life work that goes into making the Mortal Kombat game. He may not wield magical powers or perform gory fatality. Still, his presence is a reminder of the people behind the pixels and the strange, self-aware humor that Mortal Kombat has embraced over the years. Looks, weapons, ability, goals, and personality of Mokap. Despite being introduced as a humble motion capture actor, Mokap somehow found himself thrust into the violent and chaotic world of Mortal Kombat. And oddly enough, he didn't just survive, he adapted. Though initially portrayed as clueless and confused, Mokap possesses an unexpected arsenal of powers that elevate him far beyond the expectations of a background character. He was mysteriously blessed with telekinetic ability and energy-based projectile attacks, which remain largely unexplained within the lore, but are very real in the gameplay. Mystical ability. Mokap may have started as a martial arts performer for Johnny Cage's in-universe movie. Still, through unknown means, possibly due to exposure to the magic of the realm or latent powers awakened by his training, he now channels pure white energy to devastating effect. His deep knowledge of various martial arts forms acts as the foundation for how he channels and controls this mysterious energy. Unlike most fighters who learn to harness powers through gods, sorcery, or realm-specific blessing, Mokap's powers feel like serendipity, and it just worked. Signature moves. Fireball, one of Mokap's most recognizable moves. Using his energy manipulation, he summons white-hot energy and converts it into a flaming projectile. This attack mimics the traditional fireball used by many combatants, but with a distinctly raw, motion-captured flair, as if he's using the very code of the universe around him. Magic Lift. Mokap channels. Magic Lift. Mokap channels his telekinetic powers to suspend his opponent in midair, holding them helplessly before slamming them violently to the ground. There's no special incantation or fancy stance. He simply lifts them and drops them. A brutally simple display of his unexpected strength. Charge Punch / Power Hands. First seen in Mortal Kombat Armageddon. Mokap channels energy through his arms, causing them to glow with power. He holds his fingers into a glowing fist and unleashes a single charged punch, capable of knocking back enemy. It's a flashy yet direct move. Again, simple but effective. Backflip/Swan Kick. Mokap surprises enemies with a sudden 360-degree backflip kick, leaving behind a white energy trail. The style of this move is nearly identical to Scorpion's cartwheel attack, possibly copied during his motion capture session. The combination of agility and mysticism makes this move a fan favorite, even if Mokap himself is not. Mokap Trivia. No signature fatality. Mokap is one of 6 characters in the Mortal Kombat franchise who never received a unique fatality. He shares this with Onaga, Blade, Dagon, Mola, and Cameo. He does, however, have access to stage fatality and the create a fatality system in Armageddon. Unlocking Mokap in Deadly Alliance. To play as Mokap, players must complete Conquest mode with all characters. Once unlocked, highlight Cyrax on the character select screen and press X, PS2, or A, GameCube/Xbox simultaneously. Dark Prison Cameo. Mokap can sometimes be seen locked in a cell in the Dark Prison stage, another example of how he's often more background gag than central fighter. Conquest Encounters. In Deception's Conquest mode, Mokap appears in Chaos Realm, lost and confused. He's usually seen asking for help to return to Earthrealm. If the player helps him, a reward is given. In Order Realm, Mokap can be seen dancing and walking in circles, further cementing his role as the game's comic relief. When I tried talking to him, I couldn't, but when I punched him, a fighting style video was given to me, a strange but fitting pride. Martial Arts Roots. Mokap's fighting style closely mirrors that of Jeet Kune Do and Wing Chun. Jeet Kune Do, created by Bruce Lee, is a hybrid martial arts philosophy based on minimalism, efficiency, and adaptability. Themes that ironically match Mokap's haphazard journey through the realms. Marvelous verdict. The Mortal Kombat series gave its players 70+ characters, and that's a tall achievement. To give each character a backstory, a combat move, and a fatality move is a Herculean task. Yet, the creators succeeded in giving us some memorable characters. Mokap may not be memorable, but he stood out in the battles for being vulnerable and clueless. The makers tricked me into believing that Mokap was the weakest link, but he wasn't. He was an outstanding warrior. Despite his jocular personality, he rose to the occasion in Armageddon. Mokap sets an example for all those who are pursuing martial arts, that you needn't be frown-faced and serious all the time. As long as you know your move, you will succeed. Mokap always reminded me of actor Jackie Chan, who also seems lighthearted, but he knows his art so well that you can't take him lightly. On that note, stay light, stay alert. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.